to Morning Coffee. In the late morning, we've got Skyrim today so that I can not beat Bioshock Infinite on this Morning Coffee.
You're aware we're never going to beat it now because you only played it during Morning Coffee.
That's true.
It's never going to get beat.
We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll just finish our whole company and play it later today because the company is going to be finished by the end of the day, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
the whole thing.
The whole thing. I can adopt children.
You can? That wasn't in the version I played. It's probably some DLC.
Probably so.
So
All right.
you are heavily armored.
Right.
Oh.
And I am in
A boat.
a boat because I went down here. Somebody was like, hey, we are doing a mission.
So
and then they
this boat.
betrayed me. So I'm now in this boat trying to escape it.
Being betrayed.
That's right. So what are we doing today? What's the dealio? Oh, there's a dude.
I don't know. The your Twitch thingy says you're offline. I guess it's not up to date.
Yeah, hopefully.
Tragic.
I guess we are streaming over there, so.
Yeah, we're streaming.
I
Things
don't
are
know.
happening.
Right on.
I don't know. That's Twitch, man. You know, I tried to. If anybody watched yesterday's
geez.
Morning Coffee, you could probably hear me yelling in the background because you and Andrew did it, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to log into the stream to monitor the chat a little bit, and I could log in, but every time I tried to chat, it made me log in again.
That's really
And so I was
dumb.
just shouting,
Is
just
that a
yelling
bad
at it.
guy?
Come on, Twitch,
No,
get it
somebody-
together. So it's
Yeah, Twitch is chat. I mean,
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about it. What's going on today? We are. Would you say deep in the throes of testing? In the throes, maybe in the early throes.
I would say
what's a throw?
super deep in a throw.
Yeah, in
some kind.
some form of throws. So what is happening is people are testing stuff for us. I have this strong theory that, and this is something that was shared with us at Techstars, and
Yeah.
I agreed with it wholeheartedly at the time, is that there is a fixed number of complaining.
Yeah.
Like if complaining was a resource, everyone would have like 100 complain. And each complaint that you make would drop that down over time.
Right.
And so if complaining is a constant, it's a good thing when complaints or problems people have are very small because
Right.
that means they can't find the big one, so they're just complaining about something.
Mm-hmm. I like that
and
advice.
It's
very
hard
much.
it's hard to call it complaints when you ask these people to sit down and use your thing and tell you what was wrong. So we'll call it feedback.
right.
Feedback power.
Facts.
100 feedback power, and it decreases over time.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the feedback we're getting is extremely addressable, which is really nice. It's
Yeah.
like stuff along the lines of, this margin's too close together, or, what's one bug, for example, somebody found, when you minimize this thing and open it again, a form field disappears or something.
Right.
Like, it's like, that's, stupid stuff to fix. So it's been really reassuring with the people that we've tested so far. And just to give you an idea of how we're conducting these tests right now,
yeah.
it's not really open use yet. It's not like, hey, just sit down and use this thing and then email us if something goes wrong. We'll get to that
Right.
probably very soon. But right now it's very much like a monitored sort of trial.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a Skype call or whatever. You can share the screen with us, and then we will just kind of watch you use stuff and talk to you about what things do, and kind of get opinions and feedback at a very kind of deep level with the small number of people, as opposed to just opening it to 100 people and seeing what happens.
Exactly.
That'll come pretty soon. But right now it's very small batch kind of stuff.
And that's nice because I think one of the most important things is not just it's not just about running people through it and asking them to do stuff, but it's also about watching them do it.
Well,
And
yeah.
so that's been really helpful because I think there's been a couple things that have been pointed out just because we were able to see them do it, and we would have missed if we had just asked them to do it, I guess.
Yeah,
and
or
heard
if
their
a
response.
bug happens and we can see how to produce it, as opposed to them just telling us, "Oh, this didn't work."
Totally.
And the other thing is it's validation. Like, we knew going in that this was a problem people wanted solved. What we hadn't validated and what we couldn't validate until we built this thing was our particular approach, and so we're getting really good validation from people that use it. That this is right. This is good. This saves me a lot of time. This is really nice. This works like I expect it to.
Sure.
That kind of feedback that is super helpful. And so in addition to, super helpful and super encouraging, that we're in the right direction. And so in addition to just, hey, does this work? It's, hey, this works. It works like I expect it to. And it does a thing that I want it to in a way that's very efficient and saves me a lot of time.
Right.
Personally, so far, kind of the most exciting thing I've seen is, I put a lot of work into what we call a series manager and a series editor. And these are, this concept that on GameWisp, you don't upload a video. You make a series and then you upload videos to that series and they become episodes.
Yeah.
And so we thought that was a good idea because the way content is created for gaming video, it's long, it's 15 or 30 minutes. Usually, there's a lot of episodes per kind of series. Like if a series is you playing Skyrim, there may be 100 episodes. And
so it's very different than most content creators.
Yeah, it's very different than single shot uploads of videos or something. That doesn't mean you can't have single episode series in GameWisp or even a series that's just so much nerd random miscellany, and you put a bunch of random episodes in there. But anyway, this whole series episode approach was kind of a big risk for us, I think, because it works very differently than YouTube would.
It's basically the opposite.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite. YouTube, of course, is video-centric, whereas we're series-centric based on the kind of content people make. And so what this allows us to do is just arrange things really logically for the type of gaming video content we support. And the feedback we're getting is, wow, this is great. This is perfect. This saves me a lot of time. This is exactly what I expected. And even if there's a bug here and there, which there is, that, whatever, that's life. It's still I would use this today. I would sit down today. I would use this, and I would use this every day to manage my content on GameWisp and YouTube.
It's very exciting to hear. It's good feedback.
Yeah, it's extremely validating to know that not only did we solve the problem, we solved it in what seems to be the right way right now.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
That is really nice.
And we'll continue talking to people. We've had a small sample so far, but the more people we talk to, the more I hope to hear that we got that right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a big positive thing for us yesterday in the last week as well. I think the other thing too is that we're able to find content find systems that, with us using them over and over again, it's different than random people that have never seen it before doing it. So, even some of the people that work for GameWisp that are not developers, they've seen it and given sort of feedback on the features. So for me, it was really good to even some of our back-end systems get to see people interact with them, watch what happens when a random person uploads a video and we try and encode it and see what the problems are there. So it's been a really good experience so far, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to keep doing that. We started with, I think it was 4 people that we've got kind of on the books. And we're just going to add more and more and more. I think once we hit something, this is just in my mind, it's a total guess, 10 or 15, we'll probably have sussed out a lot of the bugs in the process, like the little bugs, the stuff you just don't catch until you get more and more people using your stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's my plan to sort of go back to those 15 and say, hey, use this daily, or if you want, if this is something you want to use, come in, use it, upload your content, push it to YouTube, and just let us know if it's helping you out. And at that point, it may even be start promoting it, let your fans know. And it's one of those things where we keep it really small for a little while and we kind of ramp it up slowly.
Yeah.
At least I don't know, we haven't really talked about this, but in my mind, it's anybody can sign up, anybody can watch content, anybody can view things, but in terms of who can upload content and stuff to GameWisp, we'll probably I think we'll keep that restricted and open it up more and more and more, over time. So maybe it's 15 people first and it's the first 15 testers, and then maybe it's 15 more people and it's 15 more people, and then maybe it's 100 more people. And so we scale it up because once we know everything's functional, we're at the point of, well, we got to stress test this thing and see what happens. And if we let 1,000 people in on day one and our video encoding pipeline is just like desperately needs to scale, that's not a lesson you want to learn the hard way.
Right. It's also I've learned the hard way before.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy that I had to learn it that way.
Yeah. So I think the way forward is anybody can sign up, anybody can view content, anybody can even like link their YouTube and have their YouTube stuff on there. But in terms of like enabling what we're calling the Insider Program, which is what allows you to upload stuff and offer premium and early access content, in terms of that, we're going to turn it up very slowly.
Yeah. And, what very slowly ends up meaning will depend on how it scales, right? So we may
very slowly could be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It could be 2 months.
We could be geniuses and be like, oh, yeah, this totally scales perfectly forever.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
Yeah, unlikely. But we're gonna hit those problems moving forward. Like it's gonna be, 15 people use this thing and we need to add another couple of machines to our encoding pipeline, or 100 people use this and now we need to add another machine. Like we just have to push the limits. And so we'll do that slowly.
Right.
So that's what's gonna happen. I'm optimistic that we will be letting people like you offer sort of insider kind of stuff. And what this means is the site we're testing on now will move to GameWisp.com, and so videos and series will be up, and then we can people can come and look at your content and stuff, and your fans can come and look at your site, and it will basically restrict the Insider Program on the main site. So GameWisp will change. And then,
which will be fun because people can, like you said,
it'll still be
watch content and do some other fun, cool stuff like that.
Yeah, it'll still be usable for sure. And like if you're a creator and you don't have the Insider Program offered when we start, the first thing to do is like email us and let us know you're interested. But the other thing you can do is you can still interact with your fans through like a chat. You can your fans can still showcase your content on their pages, and we'll put that on the main page. And you can still organize your like series and stuff and link your YouTube. So you'll be able to do a lot of things. Really, the only thing you won't be able to do initially is like upload new content and offer that premium and early access stuff, because we just have to kind of gate letting people into that.
Yeah.
To make sure our infrastructure can handle it. Anyway, so we'll be at the point where I think that stuff is live. I would imagine probably in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe like Christmas is going to make things tricky, but I would love to see it happen January 1. It's probably going to be a little later into January just because of the holidays. And then I'm hoping to see sometime near the end of February. I would be over the moon if we could get it fully open by the end of February, but it's just going to depend on how it scales.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's the scaling is a big deal, but I think based on our feedback that we've gotten from the last couple weeks of testing, and specifically running like larger content creators through it, I think that's a pretty, I wouldn't say sure bet or anything, but it's definitely one of those things that is highly likely. So that we're going to get it out in the first or second week of January.
Yeah, and I think it's the right answer to the problems that content creators are facing. And there are other problems that we don't specifically tackle. Copyright, that's something we got to work on, right? Like if the infrastructure's there and people are using it and people are offering subscription, like copyright's something we'll have to handle, and we'll have to do it really well. That's just a fact of life.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other issues that we want specifically to tackle, like since we work specifically in gaming, there's a lot of neat things we can do with just data about video games and coordinating that to videos and being a really good kind of like recommendation and engine and stuff like that we our problems somewhere in the process of solving, some we want to solve, and so that'll just keep happening. So it's not like
I just got
nice. So it's not like we're going to release videos and series and then just like, oh, that's it. Like there's a ton of stuff we want to do, because ultimately, we want to build communities around this content in a better way than like a YouTube or even a Steam group or anything like that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like we want to become that community for your fans. So that's what we're doing. That is the future. That is the near term. So hopefully we can make it.
I think we will.
Today, I will be bug fixing.
As will I.
And I think based on some feedback we received yesterday, so about kind of our video encoding, we think we can make it a little more insightful, a little more informative about what's going on. Like it's already better than YouTube. Like you don't just upload and it goes into the ether and you cross your fingers and hope you get all your resolutions back and stuff. Like we're better than that about informing people what's going on, but it could be even better. And so I think Michael's going to spend some time kind of refactoring that a little bit and making it a bit more descriptive about what's going on when you upload a video. I'm going to work on some kind of front end bugs and little like odds and ends that people have discovered, just some little random things. And I eventually have to integrate the watch room back into the new stuff. So that won't be today, but
those are definitely the big things we're working on.
Yeah, and then there's some weird stuff like if you try to load an early access video, like sometimes the player won't load, but then you refresh the page and it loads. It's just like little annoying things that need to get kind of worked out. There's a weird bug where the YouTube player won't load if like you're watching a video and then you go to another one and then you hit back to look at the old one and the player won't load. It's just weird stuff.
Yeah.
So I've just got to spend some time just digging through that and fixing it.
I think for me, the video encoding pipeline is what I'm really. I'm gonna get to pickpocket that guy. What I'm really concerned about. Not concerned because it's great, but I think there's some things we could do to sort of make it more robust based on, problems that end up happening. So things like if one particular encoding step fails, how do we
fail gracefully?
How do we fail gracefully? How do we like handle different cases where one thing or the other might fail and restart that process or whatever. So stuff like that where it's like, okay, we've gotten from end to end. Okay, we've got the quality we want. Now, how do we make this like really stand out and really robust?
We've gotten some interesting feedback in terms of video uploading with YouTube, just because we don't do just a whole like ton of video uploading. We're not YouTube content creators in mass or anything. And so people say things like, man, you just upload to YouTube, and if like it doesn't get encoded in a day, it's just gone forever or something. Or like this, you can upload 60 frames per second, and this may be different now. You can upload 60 frames per second, but it's downsampled to 30, and it encodes. Like there's just a lot of weird stuff that happens with encoding video, I think, in YouTube, and you just don't really know what's happening. And I'm convinced we can do better. Even with what we have now, I think it's better in terms of informing the user, but it can be great. And so that's where we'd like to get with that. Also, I just looked to my left and noticed there are 5 people in the chat, which is crazy.
Hey.
Why are there 5 people here?
I don't know, man.
We are not that interesting.
We're so interesting.
But if you have any questions, you can ask them, and we'll answer them in the chat.
Well, that's a cool set of boots right there.
That's what it's here for.
That's right. Please ask questions. That would be cool.
Yeah, because things are getting pretty exciting. So we're interested in getting more feedback. What else is happening?
Let's see.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so I think that's the last thing we would kind of want to talk through. We've got other stuff going on, of course. Things that are very exciting about, just like things that are going to lead towards us being able to do discovery-related things and just some awesome other stuff. I don't know. We probably need to flesh that stuff out more before we talk about it.
I probably wouldn't talk about it.
But, we're thinking along those lines, and so I think that's cool. And I think the other thing is that, now the cool part about being able to sort of have the features out there and get that sort of feedback that's more granular about, should this be here rather than does this work, is that we can start thinking, okay, how can we really leverage our ability to, serve gaming video, not just like what's our ability to leverage video, or serve video.
Hey, is Arcus in here?
2 different things.
What's up, Arcus?
Hey,
yeah,
Arcus.
So something I'll say, we still do watch rooms on the main site, and Arcus, one of our most favoritist, mostest favoritist YouTube content creators, especially in the Minecraft genre, is doing a watch room today. It's at GameWisp.com/room/322. You can reserve a spot, come hang out, see Arcus build some stuff. It's pretty fun.
Totally.
And, I'll be there in the chat room. Mike might be there. I don't always got going on today. So we'll be around. But it's cool. Come watch Arcus do stuff. A lot of fun. And when I've said it already, but when we launch the new stuff, watch rooms won't go away. I have a vision for how to integrate them better into the new stuff we're doing, and so that's what's going to happen.
Right.
So that'll be cool. All right, I think
Cool.
I think we're good. We've done 20 minutes. Oh, lost the mic.
No, it seems like it's still.
Okay, yeah. So we've I lost it in my audio channel, but I think it's still there. Anyway, close it out in case my mic's broke.
All right. Yeah, it sounds good. Well, thanks for joining us at Morning Coffee. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to getting the new site out there for you. Let us know once again if you want to be a part of what we're up to. info@GameWisp.com. If you're a content creator, I've been caught. This is terrible. Anyway, I'm gonna run away while we sign off the morning coffee. But let us know at info@GameWisp.com if you have a channel and you've got a lot of video uploads. We're not really interested necessarily in if you have a huge audience as much as we're interested if you have a lot of video that you're managing, because we want to help you with that. So check us out there. Look for our blogs that we're posting pretty often, once a week at the minimum at blog.gamewisp.com. And we'll look forward to catching you tomorrow at our next morning coffee.
Indeed.
All right. See you later.